My boss stole my work, my recognition, and my trust, but he couldn't steal my future. I grew up believing in the power of hard work. My parents immigrated from Pakistan to the US in the early 90s with nothing but hope, grit, and a handful of phrases in broken English. They always told me, "Beta, people may not respect your skin, your name, or your accent, but they will respect your work." I carried that belief like scripture into adulthood, which is why the day my boss betrayed me, it shattered not just my career illusions, but my cultural faith in loyalty itself. In our house, success wasn't optional, it was survival. My dad drove yellow cabs for 12 hours a day, saving every tip in a glass jar. My mom worked at a daycare, fasting during Ramadan while still running after toddlers. Every night, they'd sit at the table and drill one thing into me. Work harder than the next man. Don't complain. Don't give them a reason to doubt you. So when I got a consulting job at a mid-sized New York firm, my parents acted like I'd won the lottery. "Ahmed, you're making our dreams come true." But what I didn't know back then was that sometimes, no matter how much harder you work, someone else will still take the credit. My boss, Tom, was the picture of American corporate charisma. Ivy League graduate, polished suit, firm handshake, and the kind of confidence that made clients laugh at his jokes, even when they weren't funny. On my first week, he looked at me like I was raw material he could mold. "You've got potential," he told me. "Stick with me, and you'll rise fast." I believed him. Because when you grow up as the brown kid who has to prove he belongs, even crumbs of validation feel like a feast. Our team was a patchwork of cultures. There was Grace, a Korean-American analyst whose parents also pushed her to the limit. Sam, a Nigerian consultant who always said, "Work smart, not just hard." And Emily, a white Ivy League grad who seemed to float effortlessly upward, like promotions were magnets stuck to her name. Tom treated us all differently. With Emily, he used phrases like future leader. With Grace, he said, solid worker. With me, it was always support I can rely on. Back then, I thought it was a compliment. Now I realize it was code. I was never meant to be seen, only to build the stage so others could stand on it. The Anderson Project was my trial by fire. I lived and breathed spreadsheets, skipping meals, skipping prayers, skipping everything but work. On presentation day, I thought I'd finally get my chance. But Tom stopped me at the door. "You've done the prep. Let me handle the spotlight." Later, when directors praised his analysis, I forced a smile. Sam pulled me aside and said softly, "Brother, they're stealing from you. Don't let them dim your light." But how could I fight it? I was raised to believe that fighting authority was ungrateful. My parents always said, "Keep your head down, prove yourself, and respect those above you." So I swallowed it. The little things piled up. When clients complimented me, Tom would quickly redirect. "Yes, and that's because of the framework I set." When I spoke up in meetings, he'd interrupt. "Good point, but let me rephrase it." Once, when a client directly emailed me saying, "Ahmed, great insights. Let's connect further," I proudly forwarded it to Tom. His response, a tight smile and, "Careful. You don't want to come across as aggressive. Americans like initiative, but there's a line. Translation, you don't get to shine. Only I do." The Harrington bid changed everything. It was the biggest deal of the year, worth millions. Tom told me, "This is your shot. Nail this and you're golden." I took it to heart. I worked nights, weekends, even through Eid celebrations when my family begged me to visit. 2 days before the pitch, I walked Tom through every detail. He nodded like a proud father. Then came presentation day. I showed up in my sharpest suit, rehearsed, ready. At the conference room door, Tom blocked me. "Sorry, they only wanted senior leadership today." And just like that, I was invisible. I sat outside, listening through the walls as Tom delivered my work, my words. When the clients applauded his genius, something inside me cracked in two. Later that week, the CEO announced the victory in front of the company. Big congratulations to Tom for securing Harrington, a testament to his leadership. Applause thundered. I clapped too, numb. Afterwards, Tom pulled me aside with his fake mentor smile. "I know you probably wanted more recognition, but clients trust people who look like me. It's not fair, but that's reality. Stick with me, and I'll keep you safe." Safe. That word lodged in my throat. My whole life, I thought if I worked harder than everyone else, I'd be undeniable. But in that moment, I realized, no matter how hard I worked, I'd always be the shadow behind his spotlight. After Harrington, I stopped killing myself for him. I noticed things I'd ignored before, like how Emily got invited to golf outings with directors, how Grace's ideas were dismissed until Tom repeated them, how Sam, despite being older and more experienced, was stuck at consultant forever. We were all pawns, but some pawns had shinier armor than others. One night, exhausted and furious, I called my mom. I told her everything. She was silent for a long time. Then she said softly, "Ahmed, we taught you to work hard, but we didn't teach you to be someone's servant. Your father drives a cab, but he drives it for himself. Don't chain yourself to someone else's car." That hit me harder than anything Tom ever said. The next day, I updated my resume. Within weeks, I landed at a competitor. In my very first meeting, my new boss introduced me to the team. "This is Ahmed. He built the models for Harrington at his last firm. He's going to help us win even bigger." That sentence gave me more recognition than 4 years under Tom. And the irony? The competitor won 2 clients Tom had been chasing for months because I brought new strategies. Months later, word spread through the industry. Without me grinding behind the scenes, Tom couldn't keep up. His brilliance crumbled. Deadlines slipped. Clients weren't impressed. I heard one even complained, "Without your analyst, your presentations feel empty." The man who once told me clients only trust people who look like him was now exposed as a hollow figure without the people he erased. When I finally looked back, I realized my parents weren't wrong. Hard work does matter, but only when given to the right people. Loyalty should be earned, not blindly handed over. And sometimes the bravest thing an immigrant kid can do is reject the chains of gratitude and walk away from those who exploit it. I left Tom, but I didn't leave myself behind. I carried my parents' sacrifices into a place that actually valued them. And that's when I finally felt free. Have you ever had your work stolen by someone who looked you in the eye and called you family? Comment below. I want to hear your stories. And if you've ever been underestimated because of where you come from, know this: you don't have to stay where you're erased. You can take your light somewhere it will be seen. If you liked this story, hit that like button, subscribe for more true workplace dramas, and share this with someone who needs to hear it today. Because sometimes the boldest revenge is thriving where they thought you couldn't.